Hi there. I want to personally take a moment to thank you for your purchase at Precision Striking. My goal with these videos is to give you the most in-depth knowledge, tools, and training methods available based on the category of each video so that you can go and use this stuff, apply it in your training, apply it in your boxing immediately, and see some sort of results immediately as well as results for the long term. Now, make no mistake about it, the long road and the hard work is still to come. The videos contain the information, but it's up to you to go out there and put in the hours of training, put in the rounds of training, and put in the work. So having said that, I want to take a moment to tell you how I think you can get the most use out of the videos, out of the content in the videos, so that you're motivated to get out there and do your training, and that you make it easier on yourself and more fun to put in these rounds and do the hard work that awaits you ahead. But before we get into that, I want to just mention briefly that if you have had any difficulty downloading the videos or accessing the videos after your purchase, for any reason at all, it might be an internet connection, it might be an email issue or an internet issue, please contact me right away at precisionstriking@yahoo.com, precisionstriking@yahoo.com, or you can go and submit something in the contact form on the contact me page of my website, and I'll most likely get back to you anywhere within 6 to 12 hours. I pretty much return these messages and have a very fast turnaround, so you can expect not to wait too long. I want to make sure that you have access to the material so that you can start using it. Okay, so let's say you have access to the material and you've watched any of the videos, and you want to really get out there and start practicing the stuff. Now, from my experience in sports and in boxing as a youth all the way growing up, I believe in steady progress in terms of complexity when it comes to training and application of techniques in sport. So there is obviously the whole other component of conditioning and balance and endurance, which is part and parcel, but most of these videos are focused on technique, pure boxing techniques and tactics that you will use right away in your sparring and in your training. So I want to focus on that aspect because that's what most of the video content is about. Every section of the video that you've got is going to break down either a technique or a combination of techniques. Some of them are simple and some of them are more complex. My recommendation to you is to take that section and treat it as its own drill that you will focus on in a round of your training. Now, generally, you can break boxing down into 3 dynamic categories. That would be footwork, so moving around from A to B; offense, throwing punches, trying to hit your target; defense, blocks, head movement, etc. And then, of course, there are other things in there like balance and conditioning that are all part of it. So when you're looking at the videos and the techniques and tactics in the videos, you will be focused on a particular aspect, usually footwork, defense, offense, and in some cases, they will be integrated together. Take a section of the video, like I was saying earlier, treat it as its own drill. So let's say it's a section on footwork. For a round, you will just work and train that type of footwork. Let's call the first drill, let's call it A. A represents the first drill. Then you're going to go on to another type of drill or another type of section of the video, and that may be another type of footwork, or it may be another type of defense, or etc., depending on what you've got. You are going to work that separately as a drill in another round so that you can focus on it, really get it down. Now, my experience from a lot of my training is that boredom and repetition yields creativity. So don't be too concerned about doing something and doing it a few times and then trying to link it all together and put it all together in a complex sequence. My experience has been if you do something over and over and over it again, not only do you get bored with it, but you get confident with it. And this combination of confidence and boredom is going to propel you to want to try new things and try to mix in different things. So let's say you're working on a footwork drill and you're working on a workout and you're starting to get it. Okay, now you're going to mix in something else. You're going to get another drill that you were doing in the second round. Let's call that drill B. So you did one round of A, you did one round of B. Now in the third round, you're going to try to go from A to B. So you're doing one type of footwork, and then you're going to do another type of footwork, or another type of technique. You're doing one type of defense, and then another type of defense, and mixing them together. You're doing one head movement technique and another head movement technique. You're going to go A, then B, then you're going to go from A to B, and then in another round, you might want to try to go from B to A and start to solidify it in your mind. Now, I know that in the videos that some things don't connect well because they are two of the same. So let's say maybe you were working on punching or a certain head movement, then maybe another type of head movement doesn't flow naturally, or you're working on defense, it doesn't flow well with another type of defense right away. So what you do is you have little transition segments in between there. If you're trying to connect two pieces of footwork, put some offense in between. So you're moving around, boom, 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 you throw some punches, and then you do some different footwork. You're working on some defense, work on your defense, put some offense in between, and then some footwork in between, and then back to a different type of defense. So if you take those components, footwork, offense, defense, you will be focused on A. You will also be focused on B. You'll try to bridge A to B in another round. If you can't, you put something in between, like footwork, to kind of allow you to move around and regain your balance, or to allow you to reset so that you can start B, the next set of techniques or sequences. For example, in my head movement video, a lot of it is you advancing forward onto somebody. Well, once you've played out an advanced forward sequence, you can't keep doing it again and again. You got to turn, you got to move, maybe you got to cover, and then you're going to go again and do the next sequence. So that's why it's important to mix in between maybe some footwork or some offense or some defense. For example, you might be working on a particular combo in one of my videos, and then you're going to work on that combo, and then you're going to mix in some defense and then some footwork so that you can go and repeat that combo again, or so that you can go on to the next combo. So this is what I think is a way to really approach the video so that you get it in bite-sized pieces. Also, it helps you with a training plan, an organized training plan that is achievable. Also, so that you internalize the techniques so that it's not always just something that's conceptual in your mind that you're thinking about. You really start to absorb them. And again, one of the most important things is connectedness, connectivity, or integration of techniques. You start to do one thing, you got to learn to transition it to the next thing. And then maybe you'll do that next thing and transition it back to the first thing. And of course, once you get better, your whole goal is to have a general theme for the round. Let's say for the round, you're going to work on counter punching. So no longer are you working on just one technique, but you're working on all of them. You know, really starting to mix up all of your counter punching in general. As your pieces start to come together and you build a picture, now your focus becomes general themes: pressure, counter punching, mobility, punching power, fast pace, this sort of thing. You go from pieces to concepts and themes and integration. But it all starts from taking one thing, working it as a drill, get it down in your mind so that you're bored and confident, and then you're going to get creative from there. Okay, so again, if you have any questions about the content in my videos, something you don't get or something you need help with, feel free to contact me. But otherwise, I really want you to get not only the most out of the video in terms of knowledge, but I want you to be able to feel comfortable and confident applying it so that you get the results that you're after with these videos. The information in there is pure boxing, and I want to see you get the results that relate to better boxing and all the components that will yield better boxing. Okay, thanks again for your purchase. Talk to you soon. Peace.